Hey there, I'm Todd C. Slater, the Simple Investor, and welcome to the Simple Podcast. Hey, listen, if you want to subscribe, make sure you do so. I want your feedback after this clip, but I got to tell you, Immigration Minister Mark Miller seems to think that he has solved the housing problem. That's right, big announcement yesterday when he's talking about a reduction in about the number of immigrants that they're going to allow into Canada. And of course, who's joining him side by side? We got Bobo with the stupid grin on his face as he always does. But here's my problem. We're going to listen to what Mark has to say, and I want your take on this entire thing because he's coming up once again, with some fictitious numbers. Let's see what the immigration minister for Canada has to say about immigration.
To Canada's permanent immigration targets and aligning them to our economic needs, I'm here to announce and confirm that the current plan reduces next year's projections from 500,000 permanent residents to 395,000, a net reduction of 105,000 permanent residents.
I'm going to hold on for a second. You know, it's interesting when they talk about projections, because projections normally are saying they're a guessing number. Well, the year before they came up with saying that they're going to have 500,000 people come into Canada, and it was 1.6 million confirmed by a CMHC report. So are we really lowering the immigration number? And that number of housing that, the Liberals had promised, 3.9 million. Now what are they saying? They're going to lower it? Let's see what he says.
Immediately in 2025. After that, in 2026, a progression down to 380 to stabilize the numbers at 365 in 2027. The lower permanent resident targets, as well as the temporary resident targets that I will speak to in some length in the next few minutes, will have and are expected to impact the housing supply gap by about 670,000 units by the end of 2027. That means that we will not have to build an additional 670,000 housing units by that time. This is significant.
Now, did you see Trudeau's face? I mean, that tells it all. He's such a smug piece of you-know-what. But the fact that Mark Miller comes flat out and says, oh, we can build less because we're reducing immigration. Hey, what about the fact you put immigration to the floor for the last 3 years? Where are all those people going to live? How about the hotels that are slammed right now that in Niagara Falls alone, the government spent $100 million on refugee hotels? Ask yourself the big question. So let me get this straight, Mark. You're saying we don't need to build 3.9 million homes. We're going to have to build, let's throw out a number, 3.2. Ha! Good luck with that. You can't even build one, And when Freeland came out, and by the way, Mark, I think you went to the Chrystia Freeland School of Accounting. Okay, you think you're letting in 375 immigrants into the country? BS. You are way low on your number. You always have been, okay? As I said earlier, CMHC reports say how many Canadians actually turned around, students became permanent, everything else. Your number is skewed. You still need to build the number of homes. You just can't. This is one of those things that anything coming out of this government's mouths now is absolute bullshit. We know it. You know it. Again, when I hear stuff like this, it's just infuriating. You got the immigration, minister coming flat out and saying, oh, guess what? We can lower our number, so we're going to look like we only need to build this. Well, you're not building anything. But the one thing I'm going to encourage everybody to do, as I always wrap this up, make sure you are building your generational wealth for your kids, for your family, for your friends, okay? We are responsible for ourselves because we can't count on them. Just so you know, it's been clear, and they're making it even more clear. They're starting to question OAS for people that actually have pensions in place. That's right, your old age security, they're actually going to take a look at it. Watch out for your RSPs. They're going to tax them more. CPP, it's in the shitter. So at this point, the only people that should be watching out for you is you. Listen, if you want, make sure you comment, subscribe. Love to hear what you have to say about this. And hey, by the way, I'm going to be looking to have a couple people join me here on studio, either by Zoom. Love to have you be part of the Simple Podcast. If you want, make a comment that maybe, hey, put up your hand, say, Todd, I'd love to be on the show with you. That would be awesome. I'm Todd C. Slater, the Simple Investor. Thanks for tuning in.